Look at him move. Uh-oh, it's about to catch something. Y'all ready to go back?
You guys, something absolutely insane. We are in the Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge, Tennessee area right now. It is snowing. Look at this. It looks like it's day.
I don't know if you can see its eyes, but I'm having a standoff with what might be a fucking mountain lion right now.
This scary clip was uploaded on Ibroxim5555's Instagram, recorded by a group camping in a small clearing deep inside a forest. They had set up their tents and lit a campfire as night fell, surrounded by complete darkness on all sides. Everything was calm at first, until strange noises began coming from inside the woods, just beyond the reach of the firelight. Concerned, one person picked up a camera and a flashlight and slowly moved toward the sound. As soon as the light hit the trees, something reflected back. It looked like a glowing shape deep in the forest. As the camera adjusted, more lights appeared. Small, flickering points that looked disturbingly like eyes staring back from the darkness.
Peki bitti.
Hani ko'zga
Qarabotdi.
ikkita.
Ko'p o'tdi, o'ntlarda ham bor.
U daxuya.
The forest went silent again, except for the crackling fire behind them. The glowing shapes didn't move closer, but they didn't disappear either. No animals could be clearly identified, and there were too many reflections to explain easily. So if those weren't animals watching from the trees, then what exactly was looking back at them from the dark? This terrifying clip was uploaded on Nandheinz Leis's Instagram, recorded by a group of friends who went camping in a remote forest late at night. The time was exactly 12:30 a.m., and at first, everything felt calm and quiet. The woods were still, and the path ahead seemed normal as they continued their camping exploration deeper into the forest. As they moved farther from their campsite, strange noises began echoing through the darkness. At first, it sounded like distant hammering, slow, rhythmic impacts coming from somewhere unseen. With every step forward, the sound grew louder. Then, without warning, it changed.
Going first.
Oh no, go first. I'm ready to pick her. You gotta get lower than that. Look at him move.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh, it's about to catch something. Y'all ready to go back?
From deep beneath the ground came terrifying screams, voices that sounded human, crying out as if trapped below the forest floor. The screams didn't stop. Fear instantly took over. The group froze, realizing their camping trip had taken a disturbing turn into something unnatural. Without saying a single word, all 5 of them turned around and ran for their lives, never daring to return to that forest again. Because when you hear human-like screams rising from beneath the ground during a camping trip at midnight, you have to ask, what exactly did they encounter out there in the dark? This scary clip was uploaded on Laren.com's Instagram. It comes from Yangiabad, Uzbekistan, once a major uranium mining center, now filled with abandoned shafts and forgotten tunnels. A group decided to explore one of these old mines, entering deep underground, where the light quickly disappeared. Inside, the darkness was overwhelming, and the air felt heavy, like the place had been sealed off for decades. As they moved farther in, they discovered a deep pit carved into the rock. When they shined their light down into it, the beam seemed to vanish, unable to reach the bottom. Almost immediately, they began hearing sounds, something that resembled breathing, followed by a low, distant voice, as if someone was whispering or crying from deep within the shaft. Then the sound changed. What started as a faint noise turned into something closer to a scream. Panic set in instantly. The group didn't wait to investigate any further. They turned and ran, fleeing the mine as fast as they could. And the question that still haunts viewers is this: if those mines have been abandoned for years, who or what was screaming from the darkness below? Before we go any further, I'd like to ask you for a quick favor. If you are enjoying the video so far, please give it a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time. We're getting closer to 30,000 subscribers, and once we hit that milestone, a few lucky subscribers will receive a special surprise. Now let's go back to the video. This terrifying clip was uploaded on MT Riley's Instagram, caught on a trail camera in Red Hook, New York. According to the camper, it was nearly 3 a.m., with temperatures around 24 degrees, and the area was swamp hunting land, thick mud mixed with patches of snow. The camper had set up an outdoor camera near the campsite before going to sleep, expecting nothing more than the usual wildlife passing through the frame. What the camera captured was anything but normal. In a split second, a dark shape moved between the trees, passing through the grass at incredible speed. The figure crossed roughly 40 yards in just 1.5 seconds, far faster than any known animal native to the area. It appeared to be moving on 2 legs, with what looked like 2 arms, and for a brief moment, a strange beam or flash of light could be seen along its side. The camper later said, "There are no known species in that region capable of moving anywhere near that fast, especially through mud and snow in freezing conditions." The footage hasn't been edited and isn't AI generated, yet no clear explanation has ever been given. So, if this wasn't an animal, and it wasn't a person, then what exactly ran past that camera in the middle of the swamp at 3 a.m.? This scary clip was uploaded on liminal.d's Instagram, recorded in the middle of a field, late in the evening, as someone was driving along a quiet road. The night was calm, with only the faint hum of the engine, when suddenly, a strange, bright red object appeared far off in the distance. It moved toward the vehicle at an astonishing speed, far faster than anything ordinary.
No way! Holy!
The driver froze as the glowing red shape streaked closer and closer, its path seemingly intentional. It didn't appear to slow down or hesitate. Then, without warning, it passed right by the car, close enough that its light reflected across the windshield. The speed, the brightness, and the sudden proximity made it impossible to ignore. For a brief moment, the driver could only stare, unsure whether what they were seeing was natural, mechanical, or something else entirely. And when a red streak moves faster than reason and passes right by you in the dark, you can't help but wonder, what exactly just flew past that car? This scary clip was uploaded on Justin Thennick of Crime's Instagram. The clip comes from a quiet campsite late at night. It was recorded from a balcony at exactly 1:06 a.m., surrounded by snow in every direction. At first glance, nothing seems out of place until you notice the sky. It isn't dark. Instead, it looks faintly bright, almost like early morning, even though the night should be at its deepest.
I want to show you guys something absolutely insane. We are in the Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge, Tennessee area right now. It is snowing, and I don't know if it's a full moon tonight or whatever, but look at this. It looks like it's daytime. It is 1:06 in the morning. It is 1:06 a.m. right now, and it is incredibly bright outside because of the snow, I guess the reflection, whatever. I'm going to be honest, I've seen a lot of snow, but I have never seen anything like this.
There are no streetlights on, no visible light sources anywhere nearby. Yet the snow reflects a soft glow, making everything strangely clear. The sky holds a dull brightness that doesn't belong to midnight. The person filming doesn't say much, as if they're trying to understand what they're seeing before reacting to it. What makes this clip unsettling is how normal it tries to look. Campers are used to darkness at this hour, but this doesn't feel like night, and it isn't dawn either. Some viewers say it's a rare natural effect. Others believe something about this moment feels off, because when the sky refuses to go dark at 1:06 in the morning, you have to wonder what kind of night this really was. This terrifying clip was uploaded on BS Stan's TikTok, recorded during a daytime camping trip in the desert. While exploring the area, the camper noticed a high, mountain-like formation in the distance. Curious, they moved closer and saw that the area was covered with rocks of all sizes, scattered across the dry landscape. What stood out was one particular formation. A large stone was perfectly balanced on top of a much smaller rock. It didn't look like it should be able to stay there. There were no signs of recent movement, no tools, and no clear explanation for how something so heavy could rest so precisely without falling. The camper couldn't explain how the formation came to be. In a place with strong winds and shifting ground, it felt unnatural. Some believe it's a rare natural balance, while others see it as a deliberate marker left behind. But if no one placed it there, what exactly shaped that stone in the middle of the desert? This scary clip was uploaded on Ladybug2725's Instagram, recorded during a late-night camping trip. A camper was driving along a narrow forest road, heading deeper into the woods while listening to the radio. The area was completely quiet, with trees on both sides and no other vehicles in sight. Everything felt normal, until a car suddenly appeared ahead, stopped in the middle of the road. At first, it didn't seem threatening, but then the door of the parked car opened. A man stepped out and slowly began walking toward the camper. In his hand was a large, sharp knife. He didn't ask for help. He didn't say a word. He just kept moving forward, blocking the road, as if trying to scare the driver and stop them from going any further.
All you're doing is ushering in, you're rushing in technology to replace people.
I gotta get by, dude.
Just so you understand that. But Besant, do you see, they're trying to craft a message at the exact same time. We're going to invest in every baby born $1,000 and let families learn compound interest and let families learn what the market can do and what capitalism can do for your future. We want to start economic educations at birth. So people can root and cheer for our free market system. Democrats are selling for it to be torn apart. It's a race, it's a narrative race for the future of the economy.
Realizing the danger, the camper panicked and quickly turned the vehicle around, managing to escape down the dark forest road. No one knows who that man was, or why he was standing there in the middle of the woods that night. And the most disturbing question remains: what would have happened if the camper hadn't turned around in time? This terrifying clip was uploaded on Funi__'s Instagram. Two friends venture into a dark train tunnel late at night, their flashlight barely cutting through the thick blackness. The air feels heavy and damp, echoing every footstep in a way that makes the darkness seem alive. At first, the tunnel appears empty, but an unsettling feeling quickly creeps over them, as if something unseen is waiting further ahead. As they move deeper, strange sounds begin to echo off the walls, soft rustles, faint scraping, and whispers that seem to follow their every step. Their flashlight illuminates nothing, yet the sensation of being watched grows stronger with each stride. Every instinct screams to turn back, but curiosity and the need to record keeps them moving forward. Then it starts. A horrifying, guttural sound emerges from the tunnel behind them, rising in intensity. It follows them relentlessly, echoing with every footstep. Invisible, yet undeniably close. And when a dark tunnel becomes alive with unseen movement, every shadow and every sound forces a chilling question. What exactly is stalking them in the depths? This scary clip was uploaded on FlowDaddy Matt's Instagram and was recorded by someone driving to a campsite late at night. As they traveled along the road, a strange red glow appeared in the distance, flickering like fire. Smoke seemed to rise from the source, drifting across the road and making the scene feel otherworldly. As the car got closer, the driver noticed small objects falling onto the vehicle. Tiny rocks, almost like pebbles, clattering against the roof. The road ahead was littered with similar stones, scattered as if the ground itself had erupted. The strange red glow illuminated everything, casting long, shifting shadows across the rocky path. The combination of falling rocks, the smoke, and the eerie red light made the night feel alive and threatening. Nothing moved nearby except the glowing source, yet the sensation of danger was undeniable. This chilling clip was uploaded on SD Myers 89's Instagram, recorded during a camping trip deep in the woods. While walking through the area, the camper noticed something unusual ahead and decided to keep filming. At first glance, it looked like a small animal resting in an awkward position, completely unfazed by the surroundings. As the camera got closer, the sound became clear. If you turn the volume up, you can actually hear it snoring, loudly. The little guy looked completely passed out, like it had pulled an all-nighter with its buddies and decided this was the perfect place to sleep it off. Despite how it looked, the animal wasn't stuck. Later on, it calmly pulled its legs in on its own. Moments like this are a reminder that you never really know what you're going to encounter in the woods while camping. Sometimes it's unsettling, sometimes it's mysterious, and sometimes it's just strange in the best way. But if this is what's comfortable enough to fall asleep out here, what else might be watching nearby while campers walk right past? This terrifying clip recorded by a group of friends who regularly drive up and down the mountain roads of Tanay, Rizal late at night. They usually go midweek, around 2 a.m., when there are fewer motorists on the road, pushing their cars through the curves on the way back to Manila. On this particular night, they were passing through a section of Tanay, far from houses and modern establishments, where the road feels isolated and unusually quiet. As they drove through the darkness, something caught their attention. In the headlights, a strange presence appeared along the roadside, out of place, unmoving, and difficult to identify at first glance. The area was known to be remote, with no nearby homes or activity that could easily explain what they were seeing. The moment felt heavy, like the road itself was watching them pass through. They continued driving, but the sight stayed with them long after they left the mountain behind. Tanay has long been known for stories and unexplained encounters, especially along its darker stretches of road. And when the same place keeps showing signs of activity late at night, far from civilization, you have to ask, what is it about this mountain road that refuses to stay quiet after midnight? This chilling clip was uploaded on Spectral Explorer's Instagram. A late-night drive takes a sudden and terrifying turn. What begins as a quiet trip after midnight quickly feels wrong when the GPS cuts out without warning and the dashboard lights start to flicker. The road ahead looks unfamiliar, stretching deeper into darkness with no clear sense of where it leads. As the car continues forward, an overwhelming feeling sets in, the sense of being watched. Just beyond the reach of the headlights, something seems to be moving along the tree line.
What the fuck?
Stop.
No,
Stop.
I'm not. No. Hell no.
What the fuck, dude?
No.
They were soaked.
It never fully appears on camera, but its presence feels undeniable, as if the woods themselves are paying attention. Even after the drive ends, the fear doesn't fade. The memory of that night lingers, sending chills long after the engine shuts off. And when a simple drive turns this unsettling in seconds, you have to ask, would you survive a late-night road like this? This terrifying picture was uploaded on Reddit. The man didn't notice anything unusual at the time. He was exploring an abandoned mine, and there were no oddly shaped walls or face-like formations anywhere around. Everything seemed normal. It wasn't until he got home and looked at the photo again that he realized something strange had been captured, something he didn't see while he was there. The mine has a dark history. He was told someone had died there, though he couldn't confirm it. What stood out immediately were dozens of lit candles and a welded cross nearly 2 meters tall at the entrance. It made the stories feel real, like someone, or something, had left a warning. The creepiest part? The man never saw it in person, only in the photo later. And when something only shows itself after you've left, you have to wonder, was it watching him the whole time? Or did it only reveal itself once he was gone? The person didn't film the scariest moments, too busy not dying, but caught this footage while leaving camp, knowing a mountain lion was stalking them from afar. Earlier, a black bear had approached their tent, and they had to scare it off. Later, they felt an unsettling sense of being watched and quickly packed up. Headlamp on, nice yellow eyes stared from the woods, 20 to 30 feet away.
I don't know if you can see its eyes, but I'm having a standoff with what might be a fucking mountain lion right now. Stay away! Get away! Fuck. Hey! I see you! Stay away! Stay away! Psh. Psh.
The creature's head bobbed, studying them. They yelled, clacked their trekking poles, and tried to appear bigger, carefully moving backward and putting distance between them and the predator. Around 1 a.m., they found a tent with a couple and their large, white wolf-like dog. After explaining the situation, they were allowed to camp beside them. That day, they had hiked over 40 miles and faced both a bear and a mountain lion. If this could happen to them, could it happen to you on a late-night mountain hike?
Exploring a remote part of the Appalachian Mountains, a woman suddenly felt like she wasn't alone. As she filmed the quiet scenery, an unexplained sound was captured on camera.
It warmed you up, you know, I'm fucking cold. Felt like there was somebody behind me, but...
Something she didn't notice at the time. The deeper she went, the stronger the feeling of being watched became.
So this is as close as I'm going to get, but y'all can see it's like angled and it goes into the mountain. It doesn't look like it, but it's a little bit more deeper here. My feet would get wet, and these shoes, yeah, no, and it's cold. But yeah, I'm about to head out of here.
Trusting her instincts, she turned back and left. To this day, she still doesn't know who or what was out there with her. In 2021, a lone backpacker trekking near an abandoned quarry in the Balkans noticed something unsettling in the water below. The surface suddenly erupted. Violent splashes rippled outward, churning the water as if something massive was moving just beneath. The camera captures the disturbance clearly, but whatever caused it never fully reveals itself. The sheer force and scale of the movement suggest a creature far larger than anything expected in such a place. With no other witnesses and no further footage, the true source of the disturbance remains a mystery, unidentified and unexplained. A woman, filming in Mexico, had her camera pointed at a tree that had been struck by lightning and was now burning fiercely. As the flames climbed through the branches, something strange appeared.
Pero no está quemada, está intacta.
Esta tampoco se mueve. Está sentada ahí.
Mira, ahí está sentada. Tenía tantos años que no veía algo así, fíjate. Hasta ahorita que los niños lo vieron.
A shape began to form inside the fire, tall, still, and unmistakably human, as if someone were standing within the blaze itself. When the footage surfaced, reactions were instant and divided. Some were convinced it was a witch trapped in the flames. Others dismissed it as nothing more than an eerie trick of light and shadow. No one could say for sure what it was, but the unsettling part was this. Whatever appeared in that fire looked far too human to ignore. A truck driver pulled over on a deserted road in Finland. As soon as he stepped out of his truck, a chilling cry rang out from the frozen forest. It didn't sound like any animal he recognized. With the road empty and no one in sight, he started recording. To this day, no one has been able to explain what he captured. In another unsettling moment, two girls were walking along a quiet beach when they noticed something truly disturbing and began filming. From a distance, it looked like a gigantic spider, something that absolutely should not exist.
Yeah, what are you? That looks like a gigantic spider.
The clip quickly spread online, sparking fear and wild theories. Eventually, many identified it as a spider crab. These massive crabs live in coastal waters, often around places like Australia. They're harmless to humans, but when you stumble upon something that looks like a giant spider crawling toward you, logic is the last thing on your mind. A group of hikers trekking through a remote stretch of desert in Arizona's Sonoran National Monument stumbled upon something that stopped them cold. Embedded in the side of a massive rock was a metal lock, rusted, deliberate, and completely out of place, as if it were sealing off something hidden beneath the ground. They captured the discovery on video and posted it online, and within hours, the internet erupted with theories. Was it a forgotten bunker, a sealed mine, or something not meant to be found at all? What could possibly be locked away behind it? On October 26, 2013, near Lake Tacony in East Texas, a group of people were inside a house when something strange happened. Their cat suddenly bolted, scattering through the room as if something outside had terrified them.
Well, we were sitting around hanging out and watching TV, and cats were laying right here at my feet. Next thing you know, they get up and take off running, tails puffed out, so heard something they didn't like. Been some strange sounds. Heard a few bangs on the house, so they heard something they didn't like, so went outside and check it out.
They had already been hearing unexplained noises, heavy bangs striking the house coming from different directions. Uneasy but curious, they stepped outside to investigate. That's when the atmosphere changed. The dogs nearby began barking wildly. A light was switched on, cutting through the darkness, but instead of comfort, it brought a chilling realization.
Dark. It's coming from the light east of here, down by the light.
It felt like something was out there, watching them, following from a distance. Then they heard it. A sharp, piercing howl erupted from frighteningly close range. In that moment, panic took over, realizing they were in danger. The group sprinted back toward the house, racing through the darkness as fear closed in around them. The video ends there, leaving behind only the sound, the fear, and the question of what was really lurking outside that night. While hiking through the remote stretches of White Mesa, a hiker stumbled upon something unsettling, a trail of massive footprints pressed deep into the ground. Each print measured nearly 20 inches long, strikingly human in shape, yet far larger than any footprint known to belong to a documented individual. The tracks were clear, intact, and impossible to dismiss as natural distortions. Given White Mesa's long history of reported Bigfoot sightings, the discovery quickly fueled speculation that the footprints might belong to something far more mysterious than an ordinary passerby. This clip was posted by a Reddit user who was out camping deep in the woods when something truly unsettling caught their eye. In the shadows between the trees, a huge, hairy figure darted across the forest floor, fast, heavy, and nothing like any animal they'd seen before.
О, вон, передвигается. Чучело.
Смотри, ветки шатаются. Смотри.
О, побежал! Я заснял его!
Как не испугать его, пошли.
Я заснял!
Смотри.
Ё-моё!
Будет-то килограмм 200 весит.
Угу. Видел, как он своими лапами машет?
Смотри,
вон.
2 метра рост.
Ёп!
Я боюсь.
Надо отдать эту съемку в НТВ. Чрезвычайное положение.
Побежали.
Пошли за ним.
It wasn't attacking, it wasn't running toward them. It was just there, lurking, jumping between the trees as if watching from a distance. They had no idea what they were witnessing. A wild animal? Something unknown? Something not meant to be seen at all? If you were out there in the dark, miles from help, what would you think that creature was? Would you stay and film, or run for your life? A man walking alone through the night suddenly noticed movement in the bushes. What emerged made his blood run cold.
A la verga, güey, ¿qué es eso, güey? Esa mierda. A la mierda.
A strange figure, thin and unnatural. At first glance, it resembled an elf, but the longer he stared, the more he realised it was something far more sinister, something that didn't belong in this world. What could that be? One cold winter night, a young man was heading home when traffic brought the main road to a standstill. To avoid the jam, he took a detour through Wanaharang Jampang, a quiet village infamous for its unsettling legends. The road was dark, cracked and almost deserted, so he decided to record the drive on his phone. At the time, everything seemed ordinary. But later, when he replayed the footage at home, he noticed something strange. Faint, eerie noises echoed in the background, sounds he hadn't heard while driving. He watched the video again, heart racing, and the noises were still there. Unexplained, chilling, and impossible to ignore. A team of men from the United Kingdom was making their descent down Ajayal Dumidi, a mountain notorious for its razor-thin ridges and treacherous exposed paths. The slopes were unforgivingly steep, where even a single misstep could mean a plunge into the abyss. Suddenly one of them slipped. Instinct kicked in, and he thrust his ice axe into the snow, halting his fall by mere inches. The mountain was far steeper than it looked on camera, and the narrow ridge offered almost zero room for error. One false move here could have spelled disaster. Shaken but determined, the climbers pressed on, hearts still racing, fully aware of how narrowly they had escaped. Imagine having to carry on after flirting so closely with the edge. One cold winter evening, Alexis was startled by strange noises coming from an upstairs room, a room that should have been empty. She cautiously went to investigate, finding nothing out of place, yet an unsettling feeling clung to her. Deciding to be thorough, she set up a camera to monitor the room before returning downstairs. Later, when she reviewed the footage, her blood ran cold. After adjusting the brightness, a tall, shadowy figure slowly emerged from the closet doorway. A hand appeared, followed by part of a head. Then both vanished back into the darkness. Whatever had been in that room, it definitely wasn't supposed to be there. This group set out to explore one of America's most dangerous and adrenaline-pumping trails, Angel's Landing in Zion National Park. It's a hike known for its brutal exposure, with sheer 1,000-foot drops on both sides and a razor-thin ridge where only a chain separates hikers from empty air. It's widely considered the deadliest hike in the country, and one look at it explains why. One slip, one shaky step, one moment of fear, and it's over. Yet people still climb it, chasing the thrill, the view, the feeling of standing on the edge of the world. But would you risk your life for a moment like that? Is any view worth standing inches from death? Reddit user A Drift to Oblivion was jogging along a quiet trail at 4 a.m. when he suddenly froze. Up ahead, a figure loomed at the edge of the path. Its face was twisted and unnatural, something that didn't belong in this world. Heart racing, he inched closer, only to realize it was just a snowman. Yet, even knowing that, it didn't feel any less unsettling. The way it stood perfectly still, bathed in the dim eerie light, made the silent trail feel like a scene from a nightmare. Imagine coming across that in the dead of night. runs a metal detecting channel, usually turning up old coins and forgotten relics. This time he went deep into a forest chasing whispers of gold. At first the finds were ordinary, but then the air changed. A sharp smell. Birds circling, a feeling he couldn't shake. Moments later, he found the truth. Not treasure, a body.
O tanto de cabelo, gente. Uma maçaroca de cabelo. Puxa vida. Começa. Olha aqui, ó. Gente do céu. Acabou com a nossa caçada aí, ó. Vamos ter que chamar a polícia imediatamente. Fica nós. Gente, é uma cena lamentável. Misericórdia, gente. Misericórdia. Fica aqui, Faísquinha. Coitadinho, Faísquinha, não entende. Gente, acabou nossa caçada. Olha que situação, gente. Nossa senhora. Mas que... É daqui que tava vindo o cheiro. Vem aqui, Faísca. Tem que pegar o Faísca, senão ele vai pra cima.
Jack called the police and waited. They confirmed it was a woman and said little else. His hunt ended without gold, but he did something far more important. He helped bring someone's daughter home. A woman was filming what could have been her future home when she unknowingly captured something deeply unsettling. As she turned her camera toward a closet, a faint whisper echoed in the background. The words were distorted and hard to understand, but it sounded like two short phrases, possibly, "Don't buy."
Oh my god!
The audio was never clear enough to confirm exactly what was said, and no visible source of the sound could be found. But whatever that whisper truly meant, hearing it in that empty house was enough to stop her in her tracks and make her seriously reconsider buying the home. In December 2020, a Reddit user were helping a friend unload items from his truck into his house. With the constant back and forth, the front door stayed propped open the entire time. Once they were done, the three of them stood just outside the doorway, laughing and talking, relieved to be finished. Then, out of nowhere, the friend's phone buzzed. It was a motion alert from his Ring camera, mounted directly in the centre of the front door's window. When they checked the footage, their mood instantly shifted. The camera had captured a dark shadow moving inside the doorway. The silhouette clearly resembled the side profile of a man's head and shoulders. The unsettling part? They were standing right outside the open door, and they were the only people there. None of them had seen anything move with their own eyes, and the shape didn't match any of them. To this day, they still have no explanation for where the shadow came from, or what the camera really caught. A Reddit user once shared a chilling piece of mail he received about a credit card class action settlement. The address was correct, but the name on the envelope wasn't a name at all. It read, "Help me and alone. Need help? Thanks." Unsettled, he posted it on Reddit, where commenters urged him to contact the police, fearing it was a hidden cry for help. No update ever followed. To this day, no one knows who sent it, or whether anyone was rescued. A father was filming a sweet moment while playing with his child, when something deeply unsettling happened. In the middle of the video, the bedroom blinds suddenly began moving on their own.
Oh, you got it. No, almost. I mean, you hit SpongeBob, though. Yay! Last one. 3, 1. Huh? 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Confused, he recorded a second clip showing the room's layout and explaining that the blinds can only be moved from inside. There's no way anyone could reach them from outside.
So this right here is the room where it actually happened. Hey. So I was just sitting here with my daughter. Well, she was actually on the bed playing with her toys that she always plays with. All of a sudden, I didn't understand what was going on, because the only way you can move the blinds is if you're inside the room. There's no possible way that someone can move the blinds from the outside of the room. There's no possible way somebody can just come up here and move the blinds from the inside.
The same time, his security camera captured footage showing the blinds shifting with no visible hands, strings or contact. As if that wasn't enough, a follow-up clip shows the light switch flipping off by itself.
Bring up security footage, POV from when it happened. I'm just gonna zoom in and you just tell me what you see.
It's too small. Oh, you got it.
There are no fucking fingers. There are no fingers in the middle of this. Nobody's moving the blinds.
No.
The left to the right side.
Okay. Oh. Yeah. Yay! Oh, you got it. No, almost. I mean...
Pulling this off would require perfect timing and hidden mechanisms, but none were visible, so the question remains, was this an elaborate setup or a genuine, unexplained encounter? On January 21st, 2012, a small group visited Lake Minnewanka in Banff, Alberta, to test whether the ice was safe for skating and to take a few photos. While standing near the frozen lake, something unsettling happened. They began to hear a strange, echoing sound rising from the ice. The noise was loud, deep, and lasted far longer than anyone expected. It didn't sound like cracking ice or wind. Later, when the story was shared online, people from all over the world claimed they had heard the same sound in different places. To this day, no one can say for sure what caused it, and that mystery is what makes it so chilling. On January 29, 2021, a YouTube video captured a terrifying moment on Mount Everest. Climbers reached a massive crevasse that could only be crossed using a ladder. As one climber stepped onto it, he suddenly slipped and plunged headfirst into the icy void. A single rope stopped his fall just in time.
How can I help?
Your leg has to be down. Yeah. Just.
At that altitude, one small mistake can be deadly. The team reacted fast, pulling him back up.
Don't worry, Ellen. Don't move. Ellen, I will hold you. Now you can hold him. Another hand. Hold this one. No, is this too short?
Alan, can you kick your crampons into the wash?
Yeah.
Ice wash?
Yes.
Slowly.
Okay, relax now. Relax now.
Catch your breath. Catch your breath. Just relax.
Catch your breath.
Shaken but alive, he had narrowly escaped death. A woman stepped outside late at night to let her dog out. As soon as they reached the stairs, he froze, locked in on the dark woods. After a long pause, he finally went down, then vanished. When she called his name, there was no answer.
There you are. Come on. Rocky, where'd you go? Rocky?
Nervous, she followed and heard a faint cry coming from the trees. The yard was empty.
Come on, dude. Rocky? The hell? Rocky? What are you doing up there? I thought you were down here.
Confused, she turned back toward the house. Her dog was standing in the doorway, already inside. The clip went viral because there was no other path, no stairs, no way for him to get back in that fast. Which left one chilling question. If that was her dog outside, what did she just follow into the dark? While hiking deep into the woods on a camping trip, this camper suddenly heard gunshots echoing through the trees. Nothing was visible, no hunters, no movement, just the sharp cracks of gunfire rolling across the forest. He froze, listening, unsure whether to turn back or keep going.
There it goes again. It's gonna be 4. And so it's like a really weird place to shoot. I think the trail goes that way. Maybe it's just me being paranoid, but I have like a weird feeling. Why the fuck are you shooting right off trail? Only 4 shots. Maybe he only has a 4-shot gun. You can hear him moving.
Eventually the woods went quiet again, so he continued toward his campsite, hoping the rest of his trip would stay peaceful. But the night had one more surprise waiting. Out of nowhere, a goat wandered into his camp and refused to leave. Even after he scared it off, it kept coming back, staring at him like it owned the place.
For like 6 hours, and this is now the 2nd time I've had this guy here. Hey goat. Hey goat. How you doing, bud? What you doing here, man?
After the gunshots and the uninvited visitor, would you stay another night in a forest like that? TikToker Georgie Juju recently shared a photo taken when she was just 9 years old. During a visit to an old abandoned building, she's always said she never believed in anything paranormal, but this image still makes her uneasy to this day. It was dark and she was holding a flashlight. As the beam hit a surface, it reflected as a sharp glare. But inside that glare, 2 shapes appeared, shapes that looked unsettlingly like eyes staring back at her. Some viewers insist it's nothing more than a trick of the light or simple pareidolia, the brain finding patterns where none exist. Others aren't so sure, wondering if something else might have been standing there with her that night. The photo remains unclear, and no one can say for certain what caused those shapes, but whatever it was, it continues to spark debate and leave people unsettled. Someone snapped this photo on a cold winter evening inside a bar. At first glance, everything looked completely normal, just friends enjoying the night. But later, when they went back to review the picture, something unsettling appeared. Behind one of the women was a pale face partially formed with what looked like eyes, a nose and a mouth, but not quite like those of any normal person. They scanned the bar afterward, searching for anyone who might match it, but no one did. Most people say it's probably just motion blur, someone walking past at the exact wrong moment, and that explanation makes sense. Still, there's something about the image that lingers. Even knowing the likely reason, it's hard to shake how eerie it looks. A woman went solo camping in remote southwest Alaska, where everything felt peaceful, until one rainy night after midnight. She jolted awake as a brown bear slammed into her tent, the sound echoing in the dark while she lay frozen, clutching her bear spray. After a long, terrifying silence, she calmly retreated to her car and waited until morning. At daylight, fresh tracks revealed the bear had walked straight from her car to her tent, proof of how close she'd come to real danger. A TikTok user went exploring with family through a mangrove, just hoping for a calm, fun walk surrounded by nature. But as they went deeper, things took a frightening turn. The water, once ankle deep, began to rise until it reached their waists. That's when it hit. This area was known to be infested with crocodiles. Every splash, every ripple in the murky water felt like a warning. Turning back wasn't an option. The only way out was forward. Their hearts raced as they carefully pushed through, unsure of what might be watching them from below. The silence of the mangrove made it even worse. Every second stretched longer. Would you dare to walk through waters like that, not knowing what could suddenly rise from the depths? This person's mother was out hiking when she stumbled upon something she'd never seen before, a group of huge, shaggy animals wandering casually across the trail. Confused and amazed, she pulled out her phone to record them, knowing she might never get a moment like this again. When she shared the video online, people quickly identified the mystery creatures, Scottish Highland cattle. Known for their long horns and thick, fluffy coats, these gentle giants are one of the oldest cattle breeds in the world, originally from the rugged highlands of Scotland. Imagine turning a corner on your peaceful hike and seeing that staring back at you. Would you walk closer for a better look or slowly back away? Reddit user known as OG Cheddar Goblin shared a chilling image sent to him by a friend, captured by the friend's uncle's trail camera. At first glance, the photo looks normal. A deer stands frozen in the frame, but then you notice what's right behind it. A tall, human-shaped figure looms only inches away. It could be someone wearing a hoodie, but that's where the unease sets in. Deer are extremely alert animals. They don't let anything, especially a human, stand that close without bolting. Even more unsettling, the deer appeared in multiple photos from the same camera, clearly real and consistent. The figure, however, showed up only once. So what was it? A person who vanished without a trace? A trick of timing and shadows? Or something else entirely that the deer somehow didn't sense, or didn't fear? That single unanswered moment is what makes the image so disturbing. A group of friends was camping deep in the woods late one night when an eerie sound echoed through the trees. One of them laughed it off and mimicked the noise as a joke. They listened.
Wait, do it again.
Meow.
Watch, it won't. Do it again.
Meow.
The same sound answered back, this time from deeper in the forest. They tried it once more. That's when they noticed it.
Do it again.
Meow.
Bug, you might be right.
That is not a fucking owl.
That's not
Do
an owl.
it one more time.
Meow. Meow.
A faint shape stood motionless to the right, partially hidden between the trees. The darkness and distance made it impossible to tell what it was, or if it was even human. Uneasy and unsettled, they packed up and left. So what do you think? Just an animal? Or something else entirely? Late one night, a woman was walking alone along a forest trail when she noticed something deeply unsettling ahead of her. Standing in the distance were 4 figures, all dressed head to toe in white, each wearing what looked like a mask. Frozen with fear and unsure of what she was seeing, she quickly snapped a photo and hurried out of the area. The footage was later uploaded, confirming that she made it out safely. But the identity of those eerie figures and what they were doing in the forest that night remains a mystery. Reddit user Jaxifried shared a chilling photo taken during a trip to Gettysburg in November, a place he and his wife knew well. They had visited the area several times before and had even gone ghost hunting earlier in June, using basic investigation equipment. During this particular visit, they returned to a historic bridge rumoured to be connected to the hanging of 2 Confederate soldiers. At the time, everything felt normal. They snapped a few photos, sensed nothing out of the ordinary, and walked back to their car. It wasn't until they were seated inside the car, scrolling through the images, that something unsettling caught their attention. An unexplained figure appeared in one of the photos, something neither of them had seen with their own eyes while standing there. Jaxie's wife had been right beside him, looking in the same direction, yet neither noticed anything unusual in real time. To this day, they say they have no logical explanation for what showed up in the image. What was meant to be a quiet visit to a familiar location may have resulted in what they believe is one of their most compelling pieces of paranormal evidence. A group of friends were out on a peaceful hike with their dogs and decided to snap a quick casual selfie. At first glance, the photo looked completely ordinary, nothing out of place. But later, when they looked closer, something unsettling caught their attention. In the background, a hand appears to be resting on one person's shoulder. The problem? According to the group, there was no one else on the trail that day, only the 4 of them. No stranger, no passerby, no explanation. Even more disturbing, there's a faint white shape between the man in front and the person behind him, almost as if someone is partially hidden in the frame, deliberately positioning themselves to create the illusion of something unnatural. Is it just a trick of lighting and angles? Or did the camera capture something that wasn't supposed to be there? Late one night, a man was riding across a bridge infamous among locals for eerie encounters. As always, his helmet camera was rolling. The road ahead was empty, no traffic, no sound, just darkness stretching across the bridge. Then, without warning, an old motorcycle tore past him at terrifying speed.
Detik-detik penampakan motor siluman di jembatan angker. Saat kamera merekam perjalanan malam yang sepi, tiba-tiba sebuah motor tua melintas tanpa pengendara. Lampunya menyala terang, melaju sendiri di tengah gelapnya jembatan. Warga sekitar menyebutnya motor siluman.
Instinctively, he turned to look back. There was no rider. The headlight had been unmistakably bright as it approached, yet seconds after passing him, the motorcycle vanished, swallowed by the darkness, leaving no sound, no trace, nothing. According to locals, this wasn't the first time. People from nearby areas claim they've seen it too. A mysterious motorcycle that appears only after nightfall, speeding across the bridge before disappearing as if it was never there at all. So the question remains, was it just an illusion, or something far more unsettling? While driving along a remote stretch of highway near Joshua Tree, California, a passerby spotted something that didn't belong, a strange sculpture standing alone in the desert. Curious, they pulled over to investigate.
Alright, whoever thinks it's AI, this ain't it. I'm right here right now. It's not lit up right now, but as you can see, it's off the side of the road on Highway 62, Joshua Tree, California. It's actually, the highway's over here. As you can see, the statue is out here in the desert.
There were no signs, no permits, no explanation. Just the structure, isolated against the endless sand as if it had appeared overnight.
Other people showing up. Let's go take a walk around the backside of it. You guys can see what it looks like. Pretty creepy.
A video of the discovery was posted online, and the internet quickly took notice. Some viewers claimed the sculpture looked unsettling, almost demonic. Others dismissed it as experimental modern art. Many suspected it was an elaborate marketing stunt, possibly teasing a new video game or film. But despite the growing attention and countless theories, one question remained unanswered. Who put it there, and why? Rosa was outside with her family in Mexico when, late into the night, something strange appeared in the sky. Out of nowhere, a massive, dense cloud rolled in and swallowed the entire night sky. But this wasn't like any cloud they had ever seen. It moved too fast, arriving suddenly, filling the sky, then disappearing just as quickly.
Boludo, es una...
Mira, aquí
Es
está.
una capa. Yo cuando dije, parece...
Mira, mira, avanza rapidísimo. What the fuck, chicos.
Se está haciendo de día.
Boludo, ¿qué onda?
Necesitamos que algo paranormal pase.
Mira, son dos capas de nube. ¿Te diste cuenta? ¿Te diste cuenta o no?
Sí.
The video shows the clouds surging in and pulling away, with no sign of rain, wind, or any weather change before or after. One moment the sky was clear, the next it was completely consumed, and then it was gone.
Ay, boludo, tengo miedo.
Fin del mundo. Nos teníamos que juntar los cuatro por eso. Amigo.
Boludo, minuto y medio, y mira lo que pasó.
De la nada se cubrió todo el cielo con esa nube.
Es como la escena de Harry Potter que, tipo, cubren todo el castillo para proteger, tipo, mal.
Yo lo veo como...
It left the family stunned. Was this just a rare natural phenomenon, or something far more unusual? A man set out to photograph a quiet forest for an art project, never expecting to find anything unusual. It wasn't until later, while reviewing the images, that something disturbing caught his eye. Zooming in, he noticed a tall humanoid figure standing motionless between the trees, seemingly cloaked in dark clothing. He insists no one else was anywhere near the area at the time. To this day, the identity of the figure remains a mystery. Was it the sign of a secret ritual hidden deep in the woods, or an elaborate hoax designed to deceive? In late October, a trail camera picked up something unsettling deep in a remote stretch of woods. The timestamp read 4:37 AM, an hour when the area should have been empty. figure moving through the frame looks almost human at first glance, but something is clearly off. Its neck and arms are unnaturally long and thin, and it walks with a hunched posture, its arms swinging far wider than normal as it moves at an eerie pace. According to the camera's owner, the location is miles away from any road or marked trail, making the appearance even harder to explain with no precise details about where the footage was taken, what or who was captured that morning. The mystery remains an unsettling one. In the early hours of the morning, around 4 a.m, Omar was on the job as a plumber at a residential property when he noticed something unusual, a woman walking along a nearby trail. What happened next was downright chilling. He stepped outside and captured videos that would leave anyone on edge. Omar described her as looking like a full-grown adult, definitely not a child or little person.
¿Será que aún andaba dormido?
Vine a dejar material en esta casa. Ya ahorita son a las 4 de la mañana y justo que me parqueo acá y pongo las luces y de aquel hoyo que está ahí, de ese hoyo, de ese árbol. Miren, es algo, me da escalofríos, le voy a decir, pero justo de ese hoyo he podido ver yo cómo una persona se metió, se convirtió.
Viewers were instantly creeped out, spinning wild theories. Could she be a witch? Or perhaps the tree hole nearby was some kind of mysterious portal. Others guessed she might just be a homeless person. Whatever the truth, there's no denying that it's undeniably eerie. Earlier this year, a Reddit user shared a chilling photo taken just after a car accident. Everyone involved had already climbed out of the vehicle and was standing safely on the roadside, still visibly shaken. The user snapped 4 photos of the scene, but only one came out clear. In that single image, a figure can be seen standing by the driver's side door. Someone who, according to the user, wasn't actually there when the photo was taken. The shape looked human, resembling a man, and what made it even more unsettling was that it reminded the user of their grandfather, who had passed away when they were just 12. To make the moment eerier, the accident had occurred near a cemetery, leaving the user and anyone who sees the photo wondering if something beyond the ordinary had appeared that day. One morning, while hiking in Fiji, a woman heard strange, thunder-like sounds echoing from the sky. There was something unusual about the noise. She'd heard it several times before she even started recording.
Okay, I don't know if my phone will pick this up or not, but I've been outside for like 15 minutes, and the thunder sounds bizarre. What is that? I'm a 7th generation Floridian, and I have never heard thunder like that.
As a 7th generation Fijian, she had never experienced anything like it in all her years. When she shared the video online, it sparked a wave of speculation. Some viewers suggested it could be a rare natural phenomenon, while others thought high-tension power lines nearby might be responsible. To this day, the true source of the mysterious sound remains a mystery. In 1999, a family gathered around a bonfire on their land, marking the spot where they planned to build their new home. The mother brought along a disposable camera and asked everyone to pose for a photo. One of her sons refused to step closer to the group. He couldn't explain why, only that something felt wrong. She took the picture anyway. Years later, when the film was finally developed, the family was horrified by what they saw. Standing among them was a man, clear as day, a figure none of them recognized. No one else had been on the property that night. To this day, no one knows who the man was or how he came to be in the photo. Some believe the boy sensed something the others couldn't. Even more unsettling, people who've studied the image claim there are additional shapes hidden in the shadows. Can you see them? A group of friends set out early one morning expecting a calm, carefree hike through the wilderness. The sun filtered softly through the trees, birds chirped overhead, and everything seemed perfect. That sense of peace, however, was shattered in an instant when they unknowingly stepped into a hidden patch of mud that behaved eerily like quicksand. For a heart-stopping moment, panic set in. Feet sank, hands flailed, and shouts of alarm echoed through the forest. It felt like the earth itself was trying to hold them captive. But amid the fear, they didn't give in. Together they strategized, helping each other stay calm and slowly work free from the grasp of the treacherous mud. Minutes later, dripping and covered in muck, they finally stood on solid ground again, hearts still racing. Shaken but safe, they couldn't help but laugh at the adrenaline-fueled ordeal, grateful that teamwork and a little luck had pulled them through unscathed. Late one night, the security cameras picked up something strange. A random person was walking slowly through a yard high up in the mountains. This place was far from town, surrounded by dark forests with no neighbours anywhere close. It was completely black outside, and the stranger had no flashlight and no clothes meant for hiking through the woods. That made it even creepier. No one ever comes near this area, especially not at night. The house sits in the middle of nowhere, where only animals are usually seen. Watching the footage later made everyone uneasy. Who would wander through such a lonely place in the dark? And why were they there at all? This video shows a terrifying moment that could have ended very badly. A hiker was walking through the steep and dangerous Fanzangjian mountains when he suddenly slipped. In seconds, he began sliding and tumbling rapidly down the mountainside, completely out of control. Rocks rushed past him, the ground dropped away, and there was nothing he could grab to stop the fall. It looked like he might disappear forever down the mountain. Just when things seemed hopeless, a strong tree stopped him from falling any farther and likely saved his life. The entire heart-pounding moment was recorded on Yang Meng's 360-degree camera. Amazingly, the hiker survived with only a few scrapes and bruises and walked away alive. They live in a house in a busy neighborhood where cars pass and people are always around. Everything feels normal until something strange starts happening. Someone has been sneaking into their yard at night. Right under their window, between a bush and the wall, a hidden sleeping spot was found. There were old blankets spread out on the ground, 2 lonely shoes left behind, and empty food containers with a dirty spoon. It was clear someone had been staying there for a while, watching and resting only a few feet from the front door. No one knows who it is or when they come. The scariest part? Whoever it is sleeps so close that they could hear everything inside the house. The mountains around Bergen, Norway, seem to be singing tonight, and it sounds creepy. Many people think the rocks themselves are humming, like the land is alive. But what's really happening is still spooky. Strong wind rushes past long wires, like power lines, fences, or cables, and makes them shake. When the wind is steady, the wires vibrate just right and create a long, ghostly note, almost like an invisible harp playing in the dark. The sound can feel like it's coming from the whole mountain. Tall cliffs and valleys bounce the noise around, tricking the ears. On calm nights, the note is clear and eerie. When the wind gets wild, the singing suddenly stops, like the mountains decided to be quiet again. He was driving on a quiet road near a tall mountain when everything suddenly changed. Without any warning, the ground shook, and a loud crashing sound filled the air. A huge boulder broke loose from the mountain and came tumbling down toward the road. Dust exploded everywhere, making it hard to see. The rock smashed into the ground with a terrifying boom, just a short distance from his car. His heart raced as he slammed on the brakes, frozen with fear. For a moment it felt like time stopped. He realized that if the boulder had fallen just a little closer, things could have ended very differently. The mountain that once seemed peaceful now felt dangerous and alive. Late one silent night, a family relaxing inside their home began hearing strange noises coming from outside. Curious but uneasy, they looked toward the trees and froze. Two glowing red eyes were staring straight at the house. Shaken, they grabbed a camera and started recording. What made it even more terrifying was that the eyes never moved or blinked. They didn't look human, and they didn't look like any animal either. The area around the house was completely still. No wind, no insects, no normal nighttime sounds at all. You can hear the fear in the family's voices as they watch, unsure of what they're seeing. After the video was uploaded, the family never shared any updates. To this day, no one knows what was watching them from the darkness. While hiking through a quiet forest, a traveller notices strange rock shapes twisting along the ground. These formations, called stone snakes, look too real to ignore. They curve like living bodies, repeat the same patterns and seem carefully shaped. Scientists say they are made by erosion and minerals over time, just a coincidence of nature, but local stories call them naga, ancient beings turned to stone. The idea becomes unsettling as the rocks seem to follow a path, almost watching. The traveller wonders if nature sometimes starts to make something alive, then stops halfway. Not every stone feels empty or dead. Some look like they remember moving, breathing, and becoming something else long ago beneath the earth's silent, waiting darkness. While hiking deep in the mountains, the man froze. His ears caught something impossible. The faint, cheerful jingle of an ice cream truck drifted through the cold, empty air.
Do you hear it? Ice cream man.
Out here, miles from civilization, the sound made no sense. The melody echoed off the cliffs, turning something once joyful into something deeply unsettling. If that really was an ice cream truck, what on earth was it doing out here? Late one night, a man was working outside his home near the Appalachian Trail, his dog standing close by. Without warning, a chilling sound tore through the silence of the woods, a piercing scream that echoed between the trees.
You alright?
It was high-pitched, desperate, and unmistakably human, like a woman crying out for help. "Are you all right?" the man shouted into the darkness. No response came back. The woods fell silent again, as if nothing had happened. The source of the scream was never found. So what really made that sound? Was it just wildlife or something else lurking in the forest? Reddit user It's Your Girlbu shared a creepy story. Her aunt discovered a bloody, fleshy object in their neighbour's yard. At first they thought it was just a squashed bug, but when someone suggested it might actually be a human finger, they came back the next day, only to find it gone. No one saw it being taken, and no official report was ever filed. Could an animal have carried it off? With no other evidence, it remains a chilling mystery. But here's the question. Should they have reported it to the authorities anyway? One night, a trail camera set up in their backyard captured something truly chilling. The footage shows a mysterious figure gliding across the yard at midnight, draped in what looks like a long white gown. Their home sits in a remote area, far from neighbours, making the appearance even more unsettling. No one should have been there at that hour, and yet the family watched in shock, hearts racing, as the eerie figure moved silently through their property. Who or what was wandering their yard in the dead of night? While out on a hike, a man noticed a deer peacefully grazing in the woods. Excited, he grabbed his camera and started filming from his car. But when he got home and replayed the footage, he caught something he hadn't noticed before, something both hilarious and deeply unsettling.
But I think I see something looking at me through that window. I might be a little delusional, but I think I see something looking at me through that window.
As another car sped past in the background, a passenger inside was staring directly at him, with a wide, eerie grin. It was probably just someone messing around, but that creepy smile, it's enough to make anyone's skin crawl. A hunter wandered deep into the heart of the forest, far from familiar trails, when he came across a scene that sent a shiver down his spine. The ground was littered with small circular plates, each bearing a carefully handwritten message. Among them lay a tiny, eerily lifelike doll face staring blankly at the sky. The words on the plates were strange, cryptic, and oddly emotional, as if someone had poured their heart into them or perhaps left behind a desperate plea. Was this a final message from a troubled soul, or something far more mysterious? A fragment of an ancient ritual, or a spiritual practice hidden in the woods? The forest seemed to hold its breath, leaving the hunter to wonder what secrets had been whispered here. Natasha from Maryland woke up one morning to find something strange on her window, large paw-like prints pressed against the glass. Odd, since she lived in a busy neighbourhood where wild animals were nearly impossible to encounter. Stepping outside, she saw scratches etched into the concrete by her front door, similar to the marks on the window. Confused and uneasy, she recorded a video hoping someone online could explain what she was seeing.
What are these? Hold on, there's more. Look at these. What the heck happened out here? What is happening outside my house?
Viewers noticed something weird. Some marks had 3 claws, others 4 or 5. Could it really be an animal? Or was someone trying to scare her? A prank? Or had it all been staged from the start? One morning, while hiking in Fiji, a woman heard strange, thunder-like sounds echoing from the sky. There was something unusual about the noise. She'd heard it several times before she even started recording.
Okay, I don't know if my phone will pick this up or not, but I've been outside for like 15 minutes, and the thunder sounds bizarre. What is that? I'm a 7th generation Floridian, and I have never heard thunder like that.
As a 7th generation Fijian, she had never experienced anything like it in all her years. When she shared the video online, it sparked a wave of speculation. Some viewers suggested it could be a rare natural phenomenon, while others thought high-tension power lines nearby might be responsible. To this day, the true source of the mysterious sound remains a mystery.
Now, drop a comment with the scariest thing that's ever happened to you outdoors. And if these clips genuinely creeped you out, hit like. Subscribe too, because your story might end up in the next compilation.